Welcome to the Pitch Strike Chronicles. We'll be breaking down yesterday's game with the Angels. They get the win. Taillon goes down. The bullpen comes through. Multiple innings. Helps get the W. Offense finally wakes up a little bit. And once again, Judge and Rizzo go yard in back-to-back games. We'll be breaking it all down right here on Pitch Strike Chronicles. All right, welcome back. I am Tats Rob McDonald, and it was what a game last night. It was about time to see a little distance between with the runs and putting up crooked numbers for a change, not waiting forever to get a run on the board. Right off the bat, Benny just goes yard and just kind of set the tone for the whole game. And I think that this was one of the first times that there wasn't an issue with the lineup, which has been pretty much the focal point of our frustration in the last few games with these losing streaks. When you saw the lineup come out, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was that I felt that Boone made a huge mistake the game prior by having Benintendi as Judge's protection. I think that was a huge mistake because then it led to Aaron Judge being deliberately walked in a key spot. You don't have your leadoff guy batting third to protect Aaron Judge. That just can't happen. So that was a huge mistake. And then another huge mistake was Gleyber Torres batting ahead of Anthony Rizzo in the lineup. I mean, it was almost like in the previous game that Aaron Boone or the front office or Michael Fishman, whoever it is that makes these lineups, just picked it up out of the hat, picks names out of the hat, because that lineup that they had in the last game against I thought that was a huge mistake, and then it led to a loss. It was pointless. It was just like, we'll just put him here. Why not? Let's try something else. Put him there. Didn't make any sense. So this lineup made a whole lot of sense. You don't want to mess with a good situation where Stanton can protect Aaron Judge. You want Rizzo up there too. I don't want Rizzo way down in the order. I want Rizzo right up there. And I think that Benny and DJ, or DJ and Benny, is a really nice way to start the lineup. It's kind of old school. You get your two table setters up there, then you got the heart of your order with Aaron Judge, Stanton, Rizzo. I think that makes the most sense. And finally, they kind of did something that made sense. And lo and behold, the Yankees start scoring some runs. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, no, I think the old school, having your setup guys 1 and 2, and then your power bats 3, 4, 5. I think that was a formula that worked for years until the analytical age, and it was nice to see that they was able to step back and you could see the results. So even though it was an old school way of doing it, not having Judge bat second and putting him in the 3 spot, it's good to know that sometimes the old fashioned way can still work sometimes when you need it, when you need to kind of change the philosophy a little bit.
Well, you need to have your power bats next to each other because we don't have enough. The Yankees are very reliant on the home run ball, but they also have one of the lowest slugging percentages in all of August. So aside from Judge and Rizzo, it's mainly just Judge. They're not hitting home runs, and that's what has really cost this offense this entire month. But yesterday you saw Judge actually get pitches to hit. He went 3 for 5. What a shocker, because Stanton was behind him. You couldn't pitch around Judge to pitch a Stanton. And then Rizzo got into one, which is nice because now it's 2 home runs for him in this series. So if his power stroke coming back for the final stretch, it's a good sign. And then we know Stanton's going to come around and start hitting again. And Benintendi popped one. You need to keep this lineup because they change it every night. And I swear to God, if I see a different lineup tonight, I'm going to internally scream. I can't scream out loud because I'll be in the public setting, but if I'm going to scream somehow, I don't know if I got to put my face into a pillow or whatever, but I'm going to do it. They need to keep the lineup where it is. If you're going to change anything, Trevino over Higgy, obviously, You can mess around with where you put Cabrera, and if it's Torres or Donaldson, I don't care because they both stink right now. But the top 5 that we saw yesterday has to stay the same.
Agreed. Absolutely. I'm telling you, consistency breeds consistent results. You have to have a consistent lineup out there, and you'll start to get consistent results because you'll get guys that are comfortable in their spots. You were starting to see it when we had that small winning streak against the Mets, and then we blew out the A's a couple times. We had Benintendi leading off, and you were starting to see him getting comfortable up there, and he was starting to make a difference up there. And then Aaron Boone or Fishman or whoever it is that makes these lineups, as I say once again, because I don't know who it is that makes them, in their infinite wisdom, decided to change it all up again. Benintendi down in 6th, and then they're throwing it all over the place again. And what had happened? The Yankees lost every single game. They need to get a consistent lineup out there, man. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if you guys get guys that are comfortable in their spots, you will start to see better at bats more, and also, everything that they do, the opposition will strategize around. So if you screw up and have somebody who's not a good protection for Aaron Judge, you're gonna face the consequences of the fact that Aaron Judge is going to get pitched around. You cannot put yourself in that position. You are the Yankees. You are the Yankee management. You're the Boone, whoever it is. You have to be smarter than that. So you need to have protection for him. I don't care whether it's Stanton or Rizzo. You need to have protection for him. And Benintendi is an elite bat, but he's an elite bat at the top of the order. That's where he needs to be, either the number 1 or the number 2. You put him wherever you want up there, but I don't think that he's got the versatility offensively where he's going to be good in the 5 or 6 hole. I think LeMahieu can, but I don't think that's Benintendi's best skill set. He's got speed, he's got OBP, and he's a great contact hitter. He needs to be up the top. And then what happens? You get him in the 2 hole, and he starts banging home runs. That was a freaking awesome shot. Absolutely lined it. So that was key. I'm telling you, consistency.
Yeah, and you also saw, we were being very, not overly critical, but a little critical of, what Rizzo has been doing, with his back issue. And it was before we even get to Rizzo, let's get this comment. Why put Benintendi after Judge when the left-handed started pitcher? Of course, they're going to walk you. Exactly.
Thank you, Hyper.
Yesterday, you cannot. The way that they were doing everything with the lineup was not serving any purpose. And Hypebeast Jay, thanks for the comment. So, yeah, we had gone into that a lot with yesterday's show. How you're not serving Judge any purpose without having anybody except for Stanton hitting behind them, because that's your 1-2 punch with runners on base when the opportunity comes up, and then not going to pitch around Judge if Stanton's behind them, because
exactly.
You see Stanton's getting a lot. He hasn't had a big hit yet, but you can see the timing in his bat is getting better every time he swings it. So I would say it's safe to assume tonight might be that night that he really has a good offensive night.
Plus his mere presence in the lineup changes how a pitcher's going to face our lineup. Just his mere presence, because you don't want to throw him fastballs around the plate because he will crush it. And it helps Aaron Judge around him. It helps Rizzo behind him. I mean, everything has a consequence, as I say. So they need to be smarter with these lineups, man. I'm telling you that the million lineups that they make has not helped us through the summer.
Exactly. And it's, especially now we're seeing Rizzo with the back-to-back power, home runs. He's at number 30. His career high is 32, so it's very safe to say he'll have a new career high after this season. I think now that he's starting to kind of wake up a little bit, we'll see how the next, the rest of today's game and the next series, how it goes with his at bat, because it's almost like his back is starting to feel a lot better, and he's kind of past that now, because those back strains can really be hell. and it's you can still swing the bat, but you're still going to have that little bit of twinge where you're not being able to get all your strength behind you. So that 3-4-5 power in the lineup, that's really what you need. That's what made last night's lineup such a relief to see. And then when you saw it actually, perform live and actually come through and put a good game together, like you said, Don, it's about time. There better not be another lineup tonight.
Oh, it's not a shocker that Aaron Judge was the one that got the big blow to break it open, because had he not done that, Licky gave up a run, Peralta gave up a run, might not have won the game. So once again, Aaron Judge is the guy that's putting this team on his back. But it was specifically because of the lineup, because they didn't pitch him the night before because of who was behind him. Mm-hmm. You're not going to pitch to Aaron Judge when you can pitch to Andrew Benintendi. And it's not a knock on Benintendi like we said yesterday. It's just simple baseball. Yeah. Who would you rather choose? Do I want Aaron Judge, the guy who's closing in on Roger Maris's home run record? Or do I want Andrew Benintendi, who's hit 4 home runs this year? He might get me for a double. I'm going to take my chances with Benintendi every single time. So you need to have protection for Judge in the lineup, and you need to have protection for Stanton. So now a pitcher and a manager has to look at that. If you're facing Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, how do I approach this? Yeah, you can get them to strike out. That's just the nature of the game and how they play. But you also know if you make a single mistake to these guys, it could be 3-0 on 3 swings. If the game is scoreless or whatever, you could give up 3 straight home runs to these guys. That's our power. You have to keep them together because we're not getting it from anywhere else. So you need that top 5 to stay consistent, because the rest of the lineup has been very inconsistent. You might get the occasional hit from IKF. You might get the occasional hit from Trevino. Cabrera has been up and down since he's got called up, and it's still too small of a sample size. You're not getting anything from Donaldson or Torres. So you have to make sure that top 5 is what it is and stays what it is, because if they keep messing with it, they're not going to win games that they need to win in this month of September that we have coming up. And September is all of a sudden what we thought could have been the month they took off had they not taken August off. Now they got to be serious in September. So they got to keep it going.
Yeah. Hype, thanks for hanging out and sticking with us, Hype. Sandoval started lefty. Let's see what he does with the lineup.
Oh no, he's gonna put Benintendi 6th again, isn't he?
He's gonna sit him. I'm waiting to see IKF leading off at some point. Because they're gonna be like, well, he could get he can make contact on the ball and get a single, because that's really all he'll hit a double once in a while, but he's a singles hitter, and then he'll have Judge, he'll screw something up. Something's going to be
Torres might be leading off.
Torres hasn't been playing, so you're going to see Torres in the lineup. So who knows what the heck is going to happen?
Torres in his 168 batting average recently.
Dude is terrible. So
Ben says he's a little in between. That's a nice way of putting that he can't hit.
I don't know. So that's just new one, right? So we've got
He's a little in between. I like that.
He's turning the corner. He's turning the page. Now he's in between.
He's a little in between.
That's two of our quote unquote regular infielders that both can't hit right now in Torres and Donaldson, and we still don't have a proverbial lane for Oswald Peraza to get called up. I still don't get it. I'll bang that drum until the season.
I'll never get it.
How is Peraza not here yet? How much worse could it be? Because you've seen Cabrera already have better at-bats in like 10 games than Donaldson and Torres have had in the past 2 months. So what's to say that Peraza won't be giving you better? If he hits 1 home run, he's done better than what Torres has done lately. He's done better than IKF. The guy, you have to give him a shot. I keep saying it. I'm going to continue to beat this drum and broken record Rob over here, but the
Astros just called up their 2 top prospects the other day.
Yeah, and guess where they are? In first place of the entire American League. But there's a lane for them to call up their top prospects.
Yeah, but there's not a lane for the Yankees.
But you have to remember, Cashman is the smartest guy in baseball. He knows he's a master chess player. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it's always going to work out until it doesn't. Which will be when we get bounced in the playoffs, because we're putting guys like Torres out there that can't make contact. Hicks will get more playing time in the playoffs because we got to get that switch hitter in there to offset the lineup a little bit. And I'm glad to see that he's been on the bench. But I want to get into the pitching last night because the pitching I thought was it was really what we needed at the time. You have Taillon going. Taillon was looking good. And unfortunately, a comeback hits him in the pitching arm. Now the bullpen's got to come in and just pretty much pitch almost the whole game. I thought the bullpen really came through. They all understood their role. Yeah, it's pitchers. You're going to give up run. I didn't think that they were going to come in and shut it down. It's as bad as the Angels are. They do have spots in the lineup that can make that can do something. You do have Trout and Ohtani in that lineup, so that's not easy to navigate. It's not easy to navigate through. It was. I thought the bullpen. I think
Weissert was great. Weissert really was excellent. I'm glad that he finally paid us back because we were really giving him his props when we gave him his props when we called him up, and I'm glad that he finally stepped up and showed why he was one of the elite relievers in the minors this year. So he looks filthy. His stuff is filthy. So he could be a handy arm because our bullpen's kind of shot right now. I think we can all safely say that. So it's a good sign that we've got Loaiza that's coming around. We've got guys like Weissert that can come around. But the most important is Holmes. Clay Holmes really needs to be a consistent closer for us because if we don't have a consistent closer, then we really have a very low ceiling as to how far we can get in October. We need him to be what he was pre-meltdown. So he had a decent outing the game prior, so that's good too. I'm still very concerned about our pitching. We've got a little bit of lack of depth right now. If Taillon's out for a couple of starts, then I don't know who's going to take his spot.
If only there was a picture that we had that could have filled in that spot.
Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Because I swear to God, if I see Jordan Montgomery's name show up again, everybody wanted this guy gone. Everybody wanted this man gone when he struggled against the Mets. He sucks. Get rid of him. Oh, he doesn't have good stuff. And then he gets traded, and everyone gets mad, and they get the pitcher that everybody wanted that wasn't Castillo, and now they all hate that guy, and they want Montgomery back. This is what I can't stand about Yankee fans. We got rid of a player that most people wanted gone, and we got a player that pretty much everybody wanted, and you're still mad. But you can't predict injuries. You really can't. It sucks that Cortez is on the IL right now because if he wasn't, then obviously we'd just be like Clark Schmidt takes over for Taillon, and then Taillon is healthy for the final few weeks, whatever. But look, Montgomery wouldn't be pitching like this with us the way he is with the Cardinals. It's just simple because he's faced some terrible teams with St. Louis so far, and he went against the Braves and proceeded to give up 4 runs. So what do you think that is? Is Montgomery that .38 pitcher? No, because he was pitching like that for us earlier this year, and still people were like, I don't think it's going to last. And guess what? He struggled, and they're like, he struggled, and he pitched back to the way he was in his first year and last year, and people were like, we still hate him. And now he's gone, you want him back. So please pick a side. Please pick a side. I don't know what we're going to do pitching.
Love the rant. Let's get another rant going. Look, I want to get another rant going.
Even I got
is that a wasp behind you?
Yeah, a bee. So I had the back door open to let some air in. But as big of a Montgomery fan as I was, and I loved Montgomery as a pitcher, I even said at the beginning of the year when he was pitching well, it's not going to last. So let's just enjoy it while we can. We knew that he wasn't going to be a postseason pitcher. But at the same time, where take the name Montgomery away, regardless of what pitcher was traded, it's very hard to justify trading away pitching depth. I think that's what's getting to everybody. I think that's why everybody's is so hung up on it, because you can never have enough pitching. I think that's the hang up when it comes to the whole thing with Monty. But we need to get over it. I had my day, right? We came on that next day. I said what I had to say, and we moved on from it. The fans need to do the rest of everybody else needs to take a page from my book and do the same thing, because it's not like they can just go, oh, okay, we changed our mind, let's get them back. It's not going to happen.
Look, even if Taillon has to miss a start, you can bullpen it for a day if we really have to, because Cortez is probably going to be back within the next couple of weeks, and we'll be fine. Cortez, Cole, hopefully Montas. We're going to get Severino back this month as well. Let's not forget that. Not all is lost. If we have to survive one start without Taillon, we will. I just can't stand this love affair for Jordan Montgomery post trade deadline, when nobody cared about him when he was with the team. He was a good starter. I liked him as well. I was a big fan of him. Even I, before the season, said I would trade him because he has some value. And guess what they did? We really need Harrison Bader to come back, and he's starting baseball activities. He's going to get into minor league games this month. So hopefully he comes back and he's that spark off the bench or even start some games in center field for us. Who knows? But you got to get over Montgomery. They have to get over it. It's way past the point of caring about him anymore.
We do. And I also want to get another rant started. Andy Martino's article. Aaron Judge can be MVP over Ohtani when he starts pitching.
Yeah, get the hell. I'm so tired of that freaking narrative. I really am. Enough. You take Judge off of this team, where are they? They're all there. Then they would be a fourth place team in the AL East.
They're chasing the wild card if they don't have Aaron Judge.
Take Ohtani off that team, they're still going to be in the bottom.
Exactly.
Well, enough of that. It's not who's the best player. We know Ohtani is a phenomenal baseball player, but this year in 2022, Judge is more valuable to his team than Ohtani. So take that narrative of Ohtani does both. You take, and I can tell you where to stick it.
Exactly, because look at Aaron Judge's WAR. His WAR is better than Ohtani. So there's no conversation to be had. Yeah. Ohtani does two things.
All right,
it still doesn't have a higher WAR than Aaron Judge. Because Aaron Judge is having a year which has only been matched by Maris and Mickey Mantle. I mean, this is an incredible year that he's having. I mean, in other years, yes, of course, give it to Ohtani. He's generational. I've always liked Ohtani. He's a great pitcher. Guy can hit. Great. Yep. But this year, what?
No.
Tats, you're desperate to interrupt me. What do you want to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, Aaron Judge has already got over 50 home runs. He's got a higher WAR. He's playing great defense, and he's carrying his Yankee team, which is kicking and screaming, trying desperately not to make the playoffs, and he's trying to make them win the division. He's doing it himself. So I stop it. Andy Martino is a freaking idiot. I'm going to say that now. I hope he watches this. You're a freaking idiot for that stupid-ass, ridiculous, goddamn ridiculous thing to write. Oh, he can be MVP when he learns to pitch. Do you know what's great about Ohtani? He's the once-in-a-generational player that actually can pitch and hit. Nobody else can do it. Okay, I understand. But why would you then discount everybody else in that case? Well, then just make it the Ohtani Award, because clearly no one else can do it, right? I mean, that's a stupid-ass argument.
It was clear last year he was the MVP because there was nobody that was putting up a season like him because he was doing it on both sides. But now you have Aaron Judge who's chasing the American League home run record. Not the baseball. He's not going to get Bonds' number, but he's going to probably get close to Maris. He's already going to eclipse his rookie year numbers, which would have been MVP if they didn't give it to Altuve. But no one competed with Ohtani last year. Nobody was on that level of, well, if you look at his numbers, he can make a case. No, it was Ohtani's award to lose last year. This year, it's Aaron Judge. It has to be Aaron Judge because, like you said, Michael Kay brought it up too on Twitter, and Michael Kay rarely makes a good point. He said Judge is beating him in WAR, and Ohtani gets it for both categories. What does that tell you about the player? Aaron Judge has a higher WAR than a guy who's getting it from both offense and pitching. Like, it doesn't make sense how anyone can say it's Ohtani because he pitches. Then why aren't the Angels better? I know one player can't do it all, but he is supposed to be the best hitter and the best pitcher in baseball. They should have a lot more wins, right? When he does pitch, they don't. They don't have a very good team. Like you said, Tat, you take Ohtani off the Angels, they're still going to not make the playoffs. You take Judge off the Yankees, they're clawing at a third wild card spot right now. If you take, they might not, they don't have a spot right now, but they'd be in the conversation. They'd basically be where Boston is in the standings. That tells you everything you need to know about Aaron Judge. He has put the team on his back since day one. This has been his team, and he has carried them throughout the entire season. Every single night, it's him. You look at saying, well, if Judge had gotten to swing the bat the other night, the Yankees could have won the game. So, he swung the bat last night, and because of his big home run, the Yankees won the game. So exactly. He's the MVP. He's the MVP.
So, Hypebeast Jay is still with us on YouTube. Thank you, Jay. And he posted this comment here when we were talking about with who's coming back with injuries and all that. When the guys come back, who stays on the roster and who gets the boot? I think Castro is going to be the odd man out. Gonzalez should definitely be the odd man out. Hicks should be the odd man out. We could go down the line. Pitching wise, Licky maybe as one himself out.
Bard.
Thank you.
Well, when we get Efros, we're going to get Efros back, Severino, possibly Britton, Harrison Bader. I'm missing somebody, I think, but Carpenter, but that's not going to be till October.
Yeah,
possibly playoff time. But you have 2 spots opening up starting tomorrow, so that's going to be whoever they call up. And then for Efros, you'll probably get rid of Bard, or I think Banda's still around. And then when Severino comes back, you can probably get rid of the other one of those 2. That's why they called up. And Weiser could potentially be sent down as well. I don't want to, but it could happen for Britton. They have players they can move. Gonzalez has to be an option. But those 2 extra spots are definitely going to help, especially for September. You know who those players are. Gonzalez, Bard, Banda. I wouldn't mind if Chapman got cut, even though he's on the IL. They can keep him there, put him on the 60-day for all I care, and clear up his 40-man spot. Get rid of him. They have players they can cut loose. It's going to be a roster crunch, but these phantom injuries that have come up conveniently have helped them.
It has. I think the Chapman thing is the phantom IL right there. What the hell did he have tattooed on him? Mother.
I don't know. Yeah, they had mentioned it, but I had forgotten because that's how much I care about him.
His dog. No regrets with an A.
Yeah.
Should be the prison where he gets sent for being a terrible pitcher.
Yeah, but we kind of glossed over with the issues with Torres. And before we go, I want to get your opinion on what the hell. How did he fall so far off the map?
When he doesn't hit, his defense falls off. It's something to do with confidence. When he hits, his defense is right there. When he doesn't hit, his whole game just falls apart. He falls asleep on the base paths, and he falls asleep defensively, and his game just completely falls apart. I do think that there's an element that when the Yankees kind of made it, when it came public that the Yankees were possibly getting him involved in trade talks, that might have affected his confidence, but is really no excuse for the way he's playing. Is absolute garbage.
No, that's not an excuse. That's part of the game. And people don't want to get traded. People want to get traded and don't get traded. Just suck it up. Do your job.
Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of reverted back to 2021 Torres. He's pulling the ball more. His too much movement in his swing, and it's a mental aspect. It's like you just said, Donald. It's in his head because when he struggles in one aspect, he's actually been the best defensive second baseman he's been in his career this year, and he's still a positive WAR player according to Fangraphs. However, the struggles have been apparent because the on base is below 300 now, so he's not even drawing walks. That was one thing he would do to even if he was struggling at the plate. The power's been there, but it's not been there since July. So he's not getting the elevation on his swing. He's not getting the launch angle, I should say. And that's exactly what plagued him last year. He's reverted right back to 2021. And I do think that they're going to look to move him because he probably needs a fresh start because he's still very, very young and has a ton of talent. He'll probably be really good elsewhere. I just think at this point, it's probably best they move on since they have so many infielders they can use.
I'd revisit that Marlins trade.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the Sanchez treatment. Just give him a fresh start somewhere and get back what you can for him. But that is going to wrap things up for us today. Again, Hypebeast Jay, thank you for hanging out with us in the comments.
Thanks, man.
You've been watching Pinstripe Chronicles, brought to you by Northeast Streaming Sports and Sportswire Radio. Lay your pinstripes your pride and play hard.